Back in Victorian England, fancy top hats was a big deal. If you were wealthy, your outfit wasn't complete unless you had one of these on. But behind the fancy hat making was something that was really dark for the hat makers that would make them shake, hallucinate, and lose their minds. Hat makers, or hatters as they would call them, would use a chemical called mercury nitrate to make the felt on the hat smooth and shiny, but they wasn't using any type of personal protective precautions, no gloves, no mask. They would just handle this chemical and the fumes would fill the workshop and they would inhale these fumes every single day. Over time, mercury poison wreaked havoc on their nervous system. They would develop tremors so bad it was nicknamed the Hatter's Shake. They would have wild mood swings, paranoia, memory loss, slurred speech, and uncontrollable emotional outbursts. People would call them the Mad Hatters, not because they were funny, but because they were being poisoned. Now, here's an interesting fact. In 1865, author Lewis Carroll released Alice Adventures in Wonderland, and one of the most iconic characters was the Mad Hatter. Unpredictable, eccentric, and a little chaotic. Carroll didn't outright say this man had mercury poison, but his character was modeled after real life behaviors people saw in hatters. The strange speech, erratic movements, and odd humor wasn't just a creative choice. They mirrored the neurological effects of mercury exposure. At the time, no one fully understood the dangers of mercury. The Hatters were poor and unprotected, and society just accepted their symptoms as a part of their personality. It wasn't until the 20th century that mercury was banned in hat making. But by then, the phrase mad as a hatter was locked into history. And Alice Tea Party made sure that it never faded away. So next time you see the Mad Hatter twirling his teacup and shouting, "No room, no room," remember that whimsical character was rooted in something very real and